Hello everyone. What do you think? The Pattern of the Year show, Patterns of 2024. Good to see you. You're ready. We have stats coming out of every part of this digital world, thanks to producer Fierce and her spreadsheets. It's Stuart here from the Wool Patch. I think you know that. And if you don't, I have a yarn shop in Long Melford, Suffolk, UK. In YouTube chat and Facebook chat for the first time. Yeah, producer Fizz is there, keeping everyone together, checking out for any bots, or dropping the important links in and keeping me on check. We're looking at about a 70 to 80 minute show, so just over an hour that we've got planned. And yes, it's a cracking show we've got planned. All talk about patterns. I see lots of live people from YouTube in. Great to see so many people there. Beatrice, Bob, Jennifer, Margarita, Jimbo, Sue, Papas, Karen, Jenny, Jan. Oh, so good to see you all. Fran, wonderful. Thanks, Margarita. See, that's the creativity I love about sitting here in the computer, providing some cool content for you all to see and to get into. Because that's what we're going to be reflecting on, 2024 and all the patterns that we've seen. And if you don't know, let's just quickly go over it. Every Sunday, around about 4, 5 o'clock my time, which is, what is it your time, Fizz? 10, 11? It was 12. But when we do the charts on a Sunday, I go to Ravelry and we look at what's hot right now. And if you don't know what hot right now is, let me just quickly remind some of you. So you go to Ravelry, there we are, I'm logged in. We go to Patterns, and then we go to Advanced Search. And this wonderful drop-down box here is where you can filter what you want to see. So you can see what are the most popular patterns ever. Well, I'm sure it won't surprise you what you see up there. That's the crochet. We've got those popular patterns there. And then if you click on knitting, there we go. Look, Musselburgh, Sophie Scarf, Emotional Support Chicken and the Ranunculus. What we do, though, we click on the algorithm for hot right now. What are people looking at right this minute? And there we go. That's the knitting charts that will be week 1 for 2024 next week that we've just started to compile already. Let's have a look at what the crochet, what's everyone looking at in the crochet charts right now? There we go. Not surprised. Tina is there with Yuletide. You're going to see that name pop up several times. And that's what we do. Every Sunday, every week, we take a glimpse of what's hot right now. Now, yes, you've got to understand that those hot right now does change quite a lot. Certainly the knitting one, it will change within 4 or 5 hours. So yes, over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there could be other designers or the same designers again. But we do it on a Sunday and like the end of the week and call it like the charts, because it's a sort of homage to Top of the Pops, as it were. But it's just nice to give you a snapshot of what everyone's looking at. And we do that every week. 52 weeks worth of data is then compiled by Fizz in numerous spreadsheets. Now, we've got 2 years of data, which is quite phenomenal. So if you ever want to go in the chat, I wonder how many times Petite Knit has appeared. Well, you can do that because Fizz has got it all. Think of Fizz as like, if you watch Pointless, I'm Alistair, and Fizz is like Richard Osman, who's got all the stats. You could put in any name and she'll say whether they've appeared in the charts, whether they've even had a number 1. She's got it all. So we've crunched all that data. I've made numerous little films for us to enjoy over the hour. We have got, I'm just going to check the script. We have got the designer with the most appearances. We then have a special summer sequence coming up where I have an interview with a fabulous designer called Hannah. We then look at the most popular patterns. Out of 52 weeks, which do you think the most popular knitting and crochet pattern is? We'll look at that. Then we'll look at who's had the most number ones. It's a bit of fun. Every time we look on a Sunday, who has been number one? And then before we finish, just past the hour, you are going to love our little fun reel. Because there have been some fabulous patterns and well-known patterns. But boy, we've had a few risky, fun, naughty patterns peppered in. Well, we've been keeping a log of those and we'll finish the show with that. So it's going to be a great show. All the time as well, hopefully, you in the chat live telling us about the patterns that you're doing right now. It'll be just nice to share those patterns and talk about those patterns. Speaking of patterns, I've started my Christmas cast on. If you watched last Sunday, if I push this button here, there it is. Look, I have got my crochet, I think that's called the willow tree block for my pattern, but the pattern is Ravelry by Unravel and I've got to make loads of these. And if you remember, we said, what am I going to do? Am I going to dye all the squares differently? And someone came up with, was it Margarita? I can't remember now, or Sue, said about sew them all together and dip it in and get an ombre effect. But let's just have a look at that again. There, a mixture of trebles and chains. It's actually quite a wide block. You can see that there. Have I got my ruler handy? No, what's that? It's probably half a ruler. So what's that, 15 centimetres, maybe 20 centimetres. So it's a nice big block. So I've enjoyed starting my pattern, the Christmas cast on. Always in the chat, let us know what you're up to. So that said, let's go into our first chart. Okay, we are going to be looking at the designer that's appeared the most, regardless of their pattern. So is it Stephen West? Is it Midori Hirose of the Ranunculus? They may have numerous patterns, but it's who's appeared the most, which designer. And Fizz, I think we will go with crochet first. Okay, so here are the top 5 designers who have had the most appearances in crochet. There we go. Familiar names. Well, when we were doing it for this year, that's when we're suddenly like, oh my word, that's the same designer again. That's Tina again, who was up one actually. But Tatiana is exactly the same place in the end of year chart show as last year. Then how refreshing to see the new one there. Tanis Lavely, I think, how you'd say that, with the Jethro. That was a big one, wasn't it, earlier this year? And then Kim Guzman in the same place, but way in the lead, Beba Blanket. Now, last year we did speak to her, didn't we? And we interviewed her. A phenomenal pattern designer, knocking out new patterns after new patterns. Fizz tells me in my ear 37 appearances in the chart last year. 52 weeks, 37 appearances. That's That's a huge amount of work. And this year, Bebe Blanket's got 34 appearances. Now, we're not talking the same patterns, all brand new patterns too. So there we are, Crochet Designer. Let us know in the chat if you have used any of those patterns. I'm fascinated with who we see each week in the charts, because the people who I see in the charts, I'm not often doing pattern-wise. So it is fascinating how the two marry. So who's looking at them? Where are they looking at them? Let us know if you've done any of those. Shall we have a look at the knitting designers? Who do you think? Come on, who do you think there is? So the top 5 knitting designers who have appeared the most throughout 2024. Come on. If you're sat at home and you don't have the chat, shout it out. I know Jane over in New York, she doesn't have the chat on her iPad, but I think, come on, Jane, let's hear what you're saying. Oh, okay. Who do you think are the top 5 knitting designers? Who do you think it's going to be? Are you going to see the ranunculus designer, Midori Rose, up there? Sue says the same. Yeah. So who here has made a Bebe blanket pattern? Margarita says, I haven't made a Bebe blanket pattern, but I've started Fleetwood. Tanis. Wonderful. Isn't that nice? Now, is that, Margarita, is that because you've seen her on Ravelry, or because of the Jethro, or just because of the way maybe Instagram works or friends work? Let us know. Karen says, surely WestKnits will be there. Well, you like to think, isn't it? With how prevalent the patterns and how many people were making them. But Ravelry is also very huge. Hey, Jimmy, good to see you. Stephen West, he says Stephen West. Bob reckons it's got to be the ranunculus. Bertie Poppet, hey, Jill. Petite knit. Well, we'll soon find out. And if not, we'll get asking Fizz where petite knit is and how many appearances. Jimmy's going whole hog. Petite knit has to be number 1. Okay. Jimbo says Andrew Mowry. Yes. Now, which Andy Mowry was it that was, I want to say, fragmented? It's not right. Fizz, can you remember the Andrew Mowry one? Framed. Yes. Well, we'll see. Here we go, everyone. The top 5 knitting designers of 2024. Yeah, not a surprise there. Quite astonishing. Christina last year had 27 appearances and this year had a whopping 39. And perfectly on cue, Sue nicely explains it. Thank you, Sue. Let's just move that up a little bit. On knitting, probably one of the designers who offers a pattern free regularly. And in my opinion, rather distorts things. Big difference between a pattern people want to pay for than collectors of free ones. That is exactly it. But Christina did say that last year when we interviewed her and explained that a lot of designers will make it free for a day or free for 2 or 3 days. And of course, that gets a lot of the views. So it does seem to play things. But then you've got Ruta Sab there with 23 third. And then, second. And then third, you've got Ranunculus, Midori Rose 20. But Annette Cosino, yeah, the chicken is there. I thought the chicken would have been top by miles. And even Fizz said that. Said, oh, I've got to double check this, because I just thought that the emotional support chicken would have been top with even more appearances. But it was quite a condensed time, wasn't it? It was that sort of summer period. Stephen West, 13 appearances. And actually, I think out of those 13 appearances, I think most of them were for the Go-Go Dynamo. Thanks, Fizz. Yeah. But Petite Knit, Jimmy. Good job you didn't put a bet on that, wasn't it? Petite Knit. So my statistician in my ear, producer Fizz, is looking at her spreadsheet and tells me Petite Knit had 15 appearances last year. So she would have been probably in that top 5. But only had 8 this year. But as Sue says, yes, it can kind of distort it with those who use that sort of free Get My Pattern Now or the discount code. Now, who came first last year was Christina, and we had a fabulous chat with her, a pre-recorded interview. Well, you know what you're going to get this year. Not another chat with Christina, because that wouldn't be as interesting talking to her, because we've already met her and learned a little about her. So we looked at our stats and thought, who can we talk to next? And we were thrilled to get in contact with Ruta Sab. And earlier, I had a chat with her. Now, you've got to bear in mind, Ruta is Lithuanian and living in Italy. So she said, I can speak English. I want to speak English because I'm learning it, but please talk slowly. So I am talking slowly. I still ask the most stupid questions, asking her to explain a knitting stitch in her English. So it's very hard to follow, but that's just blame me for being an utter numpty with my interviewing skills. But it was a lovely chat. So the second most popular pattern, the Ruta Sab, who keeps appearing for 23 times for the 2024, we had a chat. Enjoy this little short interview of about 8 or 9 minutes. Thank you very much for joining us, Ruta. Whereabouts are you joining us from? Where are you based?
Okay, I am born in Lithuania. I lived in Lithuania for first 30 years. After I won Leonardo da Vinci program, I am come to Italy.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yes, I am teacher of science.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Science, and then very crafty in the evenings.
Science is chemistry, biology is biology.
Yeah, biology. Yeah.
It's you can see I'm very, very tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. I know, especially as it's coming to Christmas. The end is in sight. Well, lovely to have you on our show. I wanted to talk to you because in our chart show, every week we look at what's hot right now on Ravelry, and I've got a spreadsheet full of loads of data. And would you believe, over 2024, the last 51 weeks, your patterns have appeared 23 times. So 23 weeks. Ruta, you have had a pattern in the charts. That's amazing.
Thanks you.
Well, people love your patterns, clearly.
Yes, but okay, when I write a pattern for first time, generally I put it for free for one day. And for my ING friends, for my Instagram friends, followers, it's maybe for this is pattern is in the top list.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, could be, but it's good. It means people are seeing your work, and you're a knitter and a crocheter.
I am more knitter.
Yeah. Well,
but I am crochet too.
Well,
I like.
I was looking at your knitting work, and I noticed the week's just gone. Winter Dreams has been
This,
spotted, and in the top. Oh, you've got it on. Look.
is this is this
Oh,
yes, is this sweater.
that is beautiful. No wonder it was number one as well.
Okay, this pattern is circular yoke.
Yeah.
It's easy to work. It's only okay. It's 1, 2, 4 color, but it's easy to work. It's really easy. Okay, no, if it's Fire Island pattern.
Yeah. Wow.
Uh, we have more size from S to XXL.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
So lots of choice.
It's worked with hobby yarns, Island wool, because I collaborate with hobby,
Yeah.
and I like it.
I love it. Is that yoke work? Do you like doing that type of knitting work and design?
It's all in this mod. It's only yoke. It's only yoke.
Yeah.
Yoke. No, don't know. It's only this. There's work color work. It's Fire Island work.
Oh, I love it. In week 29, you had another pattern went to number one. It was one of your hats called Sweet Marshmallow. I love the texture that you create from that. What can you explain that stitch that you used?
Okay, it's a very easy stitch because it's we need work on free stitch.
Yeah.
Four stitches only four stitch. So you need to take third stitch and put it as first stitch, but not as cable stitch.
Yeah.
It's only put it over
Oh,
the stitch. No, it's very easy. At least pattern has photo tutorial.
oh, that
It's
helps. That really does help.
believe me, it's absolutely beginner friendly.
I noticed a lot of your work is very textured based. Lots of either cables or texture to the work. Do you like doing that type of knitting?
Okay, I like texture work because I am multitasking. I like when I knitting, I like to read the books. So don't know. It's very easy for me knit lace or cable because if you I need knit only knit stitch or pull stitch. I
Yeah,
it's annoying. It's annoying. I'm
it's
going to
boring.
say
I get you.
boring.
Absolutely. Yes.
I
Absolutely get you. Well, that texture is lovely. I was looking at your in Ravelry, we can change what people like. And I've noticed that a lot of people have favorited Crazy Cables and Leaves Nest. They are your most popular. And I can understand that because those cables on that Crazy Cable, that's amazing.
okay. Crazy cables is only cable is for cable stitch where you need to pass do a stitch on right on or
Yeah.
left, making left or right cable. There is you need to know how to knit cable, but it's really easy. And leaf nest is worked with wrapped stitch.
Oh,
Is yes, it's
yeah. Just repeat, repeat, and repeat.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, generally is some few row repeat, few round repeat. You need
Yeah.
only know some stitch.
I
In uh, for example,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
my English is terrible.
You're doing
I know.
brilliantly.
Stuart, it's the first time when I speak English. Okay.
You're doing brilliantly. Wow. Have you got anything on your knitting needles at the moment that you can show
At
us?
the moment, I have at least 5, 6. 5, 6 slips, and I have too many yarns. I have too many ideas, but I don't have time.
Oh, well,
It-
and to find time because you're teaching full time as well, aren't you? So
yes,
where,
moment, yes.
yeah.
I
Oh,
have. I I I hope to write some patterns. I have two 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 sweaters to write, some scarves. Okay, but I need times,
of
just time.
course.
Okay,
Uh,
at the moment I am finishing one sweater with European shoulders is diagonal shoulders. Is diagonal shoulders with cables here.
oh, oh,
Okay, okay working on scarf.
oh, look, love it.
Okay, this is scarf, new
Oh,
scarf.
yeah,
Uh, need finish it to. I need to finish one bag, a bag with crochet, uh, a cardigan.
a lot
Okay, too
then.
many, too many,
So
too
when you
many.
have your time off from teaching over Christmas, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be knitting and relaxing with your feet up, yeah?
Yes, I hope. But I have a little helper.
Yeah.
Sam, Sam, vieni qua.
Do you? Oh,
Vieni.
let's.
Okay, this
Who
is
have we
my
got?
little helper.
Hello.
Mm,
Oh, oh, Ruta, beautiful. And that's Sam.
Sam
Oh,
is my
hello.
little Sam.
Hello, Sam.
Always we want to go outside.
Yeah, yeah. So you're up and down opening the door to let him out.
Okay, so my time is for him, for my
Yeah.
daughter, and for my husband.
Oh, well, Ruta, it's a pleasure having you on and talking with you. And your patterns keep appearing. They are really well liked. People are looking at them. And it's great. If you are doing special offers on your Instagram, it's sending people over to Ravelry, and people are enjoying your work. And more importantly, we're enjoying your work. So it's a pleasure to celebrate your, what was it, 23 appearances over 52 weeks you've been in the charts. So you are a very much a popular and well-loved designer. So we'll look forward to seeing what you do for 2025 with all those patterns.
I hope.
Oh, thank you for your time, Maruta, and speak to you soon. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Stuart, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas to you too. Oh, how lovely was Ruta. Wonderful little chat. And didn't she do well? She really wanted to do it in English because I said to her, when I found out she was in Italy, I said, oh, and she told me she couldn't speak English very well. I said, well, we could do it in Italian because I speak Italian. So it will be easy for me just to ask a few questions and you could just talk. She said, no, I want to practice my English. Don't get a chance to speak to many people in English. So, and didn't she do well? A delight. And what a hard worker. Teaching all those hours and then coming home to do wonderful knitting. But she wants that challenge. She just doesn't want stocking stitch. So, and then she says she's multitasking as well. So she's reading a book whilst doing all these complicated patterns. Such talent. It was a delight to talk to her and see her patterns. In fact, I think it was last week, was it week 51 or week 52, Fizz, that she had another one pop up, this delightful green one, where it looked like the yoke was done showing the reverse side of the floats, and I have fallen in love with that. I would like to do that one. I think just clever. Yes. Ah, yeah, Fizz, we were just talking about it as well. Okay, right. So let's go back. Can I take you back now to the summer of 2024. Come on. Right, let's go back. I know some of you are struggling. Some of you will be saying, oh, God, I can't even remember what I did last week, let alone in the summer of 2024. Well, it was mostly about two things. It was, yeah, quack, quack. Oh, no, that's a duck. Chick, chick. Oh, no, cluck, cluck. There we go. Get me animals, right? Yes, it was all about the emotional support chicken. And on the other side, that side, it was all about the Jethro. And that pretty much dominated the summer. Certainly from our point of view with the Olympics of the emotional support chicken, but certainly came out a little earlier. The Jethro was released in March and pretty much took, I know, a lot of America. Kevin and Ray were talking about it at Needles Ready, and that just ballooned even more. But that was the summer. Come on, in the chat, people in live chat, who made a chicken? Who made a chicken? Let us know. I've already spotted so many names there, so I know. And look at this. Look, Bertus is already cluck, cluck, cluck. And then did I spy someone say, where is that? I'm just having a look through the chat. How can we forget the chickens? I saw that. Oh, yeah, there we are. That was Jill. Yeah, absolutely. How good we? And are you planning on doing a Jethro? And I did spy Margarita after we were chatting about the Jethro. She said Fleetwood is the jumper. It came out before the Jethro, and I bought it straight away. And that was from Ravelry. Ravelry is a wonderful resource for sure. Now that was one of the things that happened in the summer of 2024. But over here in the UK, a certain pop star came over, and it was all a bit nutty with the performances. Yes, let's click on this slide. It was Taylor Swift, but it wasn't just about her singing. It was about the crochet dress that she was seen in. There we go. You can see a little snippet of the Guardian article there. And what's that other headline? Taylor Swift looks so 70s in a crochet mini dress for London date with Travis Kelsey. Thanks, Fizz. And it just suddenly went, woo! YouTubers were frantically going, oh, I want to do that dress, and then making tutorials. Crochet designers were busy trying to go, oh my word, and copy the dress. It was incredible. Well, at that same time, it just so happened that the granny I'll say that again. The granny stitch dress by Hannah Cross of HanJan Crochet went straight to number 1. And it's like, wow, look at that. That's brilliant timing. And I thought, oh, that would be good. Let's see if we can speak to Hannah and hear the background between her story of the granny stitch dress and of the Taylor Swift, how it all just magically, like the universe, came as one. So I reached out to Hannah of HanJan Crochet. She's in the UK, and just like Ruta, she was a great sport and said, I'd love to chat to you about this. So here we have a delightful interview with Hannah of HanJan Crochet. It's a bit longer, this one. It's about 13-14 minutes because it was... well, obviously it was in English, and we could talk, and we talk about her patterns. We talk about her other family suite of patterns, the Franny Granny, which I know some of you have seen before and talked about, the poncho, and I talked about the little cardi too. It's a wonderful, wonderful chat. So here we go. Let me introduce you to Hannah Cross of HanJan Crochet. Thank you very much for taking the time out to join us, Hannah. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, we had to have you on because, would you believe, in the summer of 2024, you were slap bang number 1. And it was all at the time when we saw a certain pop star, Taylor Swift, in this crochet dress. it went all viral. Can you tell us more about the whole timing of it all and how did you feel?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I had absolutely no idea that I was #1 on the Ravelry hit list. And thank you for letting me know that.
You're welcome. Very
nice
welcome.
Of course, I knew it did incredibly well, and when I launched it, I had such an amazing reception to it. But it's really funny. I had already designed it. It was already in the works. It was already made. Because, as you know, I have like my whole year basically this year has been about granny stitches, granny squares, and everything that you can possibly do with them. And it was ready to launch as a summer dress, but without sleeves. And then I know, so I'd already done my photographs of it kind of like as a tunic thing, but with the kind of square neckline. And it was ready to go. And then Taylor Swift wandered out wearing one pretty much exactly the same with sleeves. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's how it came about. So I just whipped up a couple of sleeves, added those on, and that was why it came out so quick. I mean, like normally it takes me 6-8 weeks to produce, as you know, as you can imagine, like filming a whole tutorial, grading the pattern, etc. There's no way I'd be able to bust that out as quickly as I did from her wearing it. So it was kind of ready to go. So I was kind of like, let's go for it and see what happens. And it went absolutely crazy. So many people found me because of that pattern, and also like loads of other crochet designers, because I mean it's not the most inventive design out there, and so many people did their own version of it, which I think is amazing. And I think it did a lot for showing people that designers can do a very similar thing and a very similar concept, but as long as they do it, you know, to themselves, then that's absolutely fine and that's absolutely right. And people don't need to get the knickers in a twist about copyright, because you can't really copyright a granny stitch, can you?
Oh, that's very well said. Over the last year, because this whole show is this idea of looking back at the patterns, and we've got spreadsheets galore, I tell you, Hannah. We have. Well, you have appeared 6 weeks out of the 52 that we've done for your Franny Granny variations, your Franny Granny family, as I call it. The poncho has appeared, the child cardigan, which I adore. I'm going to have to do that for my great nephew. I will. I can't wait. So tell us, our viewers, about the whole idea of the Franny Granny family and when that started and how it's developed.
So it began with this one that I'm wearing right now, my poncho. So back in October, over a year ago, I did a collaboration with 2 other amazing crochet designers, and we said, like, we know our audiences love granny squares, granny stitches, so let's come up with some granny stitch type garments that we can all share together and do a crochet along. So this was my contribution to the crochet along. I did this and then a granny square bag. And then the other 2 friends of mine, they did other, like a cardigan and a sweater and stuff like that. And this poncho just went absolutely wild during that crochet along. And everyone kept saying, oh, I'd love it in a cardigan, or I'd love it in a sweater, or I'd love it. And I was just like, okay.
Brilliant. Yeah.
You know, if that's what people want, then that's what I'll do for them. And I just really enjoyed, because it's really the construction of it, because of the point of the squares and stuff. It was quite challenging, as you can imagine, to then try and close the sides and grade it for all the different sizes. So I do all my patterns up to 5X. So that was quite challenging to get everything to work. The numbers in my head hurt. They really did, but I got it. I cracked it. And they are dedicated actually to a really wonderful designer friend of mine who sadly passed away a couple of years ago, Fran Morgan. So she was a knitwear and a crochet designer, and she always championed me, and she always used to say, Hannah, just don't be scared. Like, if you can work it out, whatever it is that you have in your mind, you can figure out how to design it, and you can make it for any size. You can absolutely do it. So this was all for Franny. So these are all for Fran.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, and I used to be a quilter as well. And I remember doing certain blocks, classic blocks would be square, but every now and again you'd want something different, and you would put that square on point, as it were. And I think that's what's so charming about your patterns, your Franny Granny family, is that point, is that it's crochet, but slightly different. So it just looks a bit more modern too.
Yeah, and that was kind of my idea. And also, happily, much more flattering, because that, if you think about it, elongates your shape.
Yeah.
It pulls you into a point. And so many people who've said, I can't, you know, I look like a sack of potatoes in crochet. I'm like, no, try this. I promise you, it's very flattering.
Oh, and well done you on taking the time to grade so many patterns, because I know patterns designers can get an awful lot of stick in the community when people are chatting on Instagram. Oh, it doesn't go up to this size, it doesn't go to this size. And I can't imagine the amount of work, and as you were just saying, the math that goes into that. I bet it takes a lot of work doing that.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a geek, though. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love a spreadsheet. Oh, goodness me.
Oh, there you are. You're like me with our spreadsheets then, with our chart data. What are you currently working on at the moment as a designer then? Have you got anything we can take a look, a sneak peek at?
Yeah, yes. So I am literally, I'm editing video just before we spoke and just after. I'm just about to launch a hat and a headband, really easy, because I'm like, you know, no, this time of year, no one wants anything complicated, or I certainly don't anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick, easy.
Yeah, quick and easy. So I've got like these, and I think it may become a bit of a Franny Granny collection, because I really, really like, it's not at all granny stitch, but just really simple and straightforward. Just easy stitches, beginner friendly, but with shaping. Because it drives me crazy that people say beginners can't add shape to things. You absolutely can. As long as you know how the stitches work, and as long as you know where your count is, beginners can do anything with the right support. So, and I know that's quite controversial, but
no, not at all. But what's good about you, Hannah, is that you give them that support. So you do videos and tutorials for all your patterns?
I do now. Yeah, about 2 years ago, I made the decision that actually, do you know what? Because I offer ad-free PDFs, and I also offer on my blog, supported by ads. However people want to access my patterns, I want it to be more than the written pattern. I want people that are perhaps more underconfident, even if you're experienced at crochet, sometimes just seeing someone do it.
Absolutely. Completely agree.
It just makes everything click, doesn't it? And if I can do that and invest the time and the effort, and also from, well, say a selfish point of view, it cuts down on customer service, because I don't have to keep going over things with different people. I can just direct people to the video.
Absolutely.
And it gets people to know me as well, because I leave lots of my goofs and bits and pieces in my video tutorials, because I want people to know that I'm a real person.
you're very normal, exactly.
Yeah, and actually I'm going for men next year. Not going for men. I'm going for men's designs.
I love it.
Oh, because there's not that. I mean, I've got 2 young boys, as you know, and I do children's designs, and I do their, and I've had so many requests for adult versions, or adult male versions specifically, of the things that I designed for my boys. So that's coming soon. I've done my version. I say men's ones. I'm going to do it for everyone, obviously. Cool. Like anyone can wear anything. So this is my herringbone moth, which I have a children's version of, and I'm figuring out, this is hurting my head even more than the granny stuff, the raglan for adults.
Oh, so my word. I love a raglan.
I know. They're so much fun, aren't they? Once you get your head around it.
Absolutely. And is that top down as well?
Yeah.
I have never done a crochet garment before. To do a crochet top down garment for me as a raglan would be wonderful. Oh, I can't wait for that. So when's that coming out, do you think? Next year?
As soon as I can figure out the numbers. I'm making it for my husband, because he's always like, you never make anything for me. So I'm like, I'll make you a jumper, don't worry. But he's very triangular. He's got very broad shoulders. Yeah. And so I think men's sizing actually can be more challenging than women's. It's very tricky for the cross back width doesn't work in the same proportion and the ratios. And it's very, very different because there are lots of men with very different shaped torsos, shall we say.
Absolutely.
So it's quite tricky. It's quite tricky to figure out how to grade it.
Good luck with that. Do you often ask for test crocheters? Do you do that, or do you just do it all yourself?
I have done in the past, and I think I've got to the point now that I'm going at such a pace, and I have someone that works with me. I have an assistant who is a technical assistant as well and grades stuff, so she can take care of some of that side for me. So now I'm at the point, whereas if it's a style that I've done before and a construction that I've done before and that I'm comfortable with, I don't necessarily get testers for every size. But if it's a new thing for me, I'm like, I have to know that this works. So I will. So it depends on the project.
Understand. For those viewers, I was just suddenly thinking, for those of you who don't know you, just tell them a little bit about you and where you are, because you're in the UK, aren't you?
I am, yes. I'm in sunny Southampton.
Oh,
down the coast. Yes,
you are.
yeah, I am indeed. Yes, so I'm Hannah from HanJan Crochet, and I began designing in 2012 is when I opened my Etsy shop and Ravelry and all of that jazz. And at the time I was living in Bath, and Simply Crochet magazine was just starting, and they were located in Bath, and they found me on Etsy and approached me and said, would you like to make stuff for us? And they invited me to this meeting. I was like completely bamboozled. I was working full time as a midwife at the time, had no concept. I was just doing this on the side because I had some spare time. And they invited me, and I thought they wanted me to make samples for the magazine. And they were like, no, we want you to design for us. We really like your designs. And I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Do I get paid for that? How does this work? I was like, what? So then I was in almost every issue of Simply Crochet magazine up until I basically went full time with this. I'm now no longer doing midwifery. I've been doing this full time for nearly 4 years.
Oh, wow. Oh, that must be lovely.
Oh, it is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing to be my own boss.
Yeah.
Master of my own destiny.
Absolutely.
And all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing job.
When you think about all the yarns that you use, because there are so many choices, aren't there? Are you finding that you come to a certain weight of yarn more often than not? Or do you still just go, oh, do you know what? I think I'm going to do something in chunky this time.
Do you know what I do? I always come back to double knit every time. And it's a real shame because lots of my audience, well, it's getting better. Lots of my audience are in North America, and they really don't have much. Like they have sport weight and they have worsted, and they have very little in between. So they find it quite challenging if I say, oh, I'm going to use this DK. They're like, where do I find that? And I've been this year, actually, I've been to America and I've been into yarn stores, because of course, and the shelves are just full of worsted weight and bigger. And I'm not necessarily a chunky yarn fan. I never have been. So yeah, I will always go for DK.
Oh, cool. There is something about stitch definition on DK or 4-ply, isn't there? You just can't get it. And it's lovely doing chunky because it knits up quickly or crochets up quickly, and then you get a finished result, of an evening. You're like, yay, I've done something. But you still can't get over it, even though it takes longer. But the end definition is always far superior, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the drape you get, not that you can't get good drape with chunkier yarns, but you just get slightly better, I think, with the thinner yarns.
So before we finish, can you tell the audience where best to find you? Because I know some of them are now going, oh my God, I love Hannah. Right, where let's type it in. They'll be in the chat. I can guarantee it. There'll be chat going, where can I find out more about Hannah? Where is best to find out more about you and where to carry on following you?
So I'm everywhere and anywhere apart from pretty much everywhere apart from TikTok. I don't do much on there, but I'm HanJan Crochet, so HanJan and then crochet, and the website is hanjancrochet.com, and I'm that name on Facebook, on Instagram, and you can sign up for my email list through my website, all those kinds of places. And I sell my patterns on Etsy and on Ravelry. But then, of course, most of them are actually free to view on the blog as well.
Hannah, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Thank you for giving up your time to chat to us on our show. Cheers, and see you sometime in 2025.
Definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Cheers. See you. How wonderful was that? How delightful is Hannah, hey? Oh, we did chat for a lot longer, but it was lovely to edit that down. Fascinating story, fascinating journey of how that Franny Granny all came about. Lovely to hear that. I hope you got a lot out of that interview. And in fact, you're going to get a little bit more out of it, because the wonderful Hannah has given viewers to YouTube and Facebook a special discount code. Here you go. Write this down. For the next couple of days, you have got 30% off everything, every pattern, on Ravelry or Etsy, wherever you like to go and buy your patterns from. Scribble that down. The code is welcome. Thank you very much, Hannah, for that little gift and treat. Really much appreciated. They are wonderful patterns. So spread the word. There you go. I don't think it will last too long. So go and do it now, or over the festive period, maybe after January, once we get into New Year. That may not work, but that is really nice. A nice little treat for you all. Thank you very much, Hannah. Let's get rid of that. It was wonderful to talk to you about it, and very inspiring. It certainly got me going with my Christmas cast on. I'm just going to play a little ad as I check in with the chat. We're, about 20 minutes left of the show. We said about 9:15. So if you want to go and top up your drink, I'm going to press ad button on YouTube and then go through the chat. So you're not missing anything at all if an ad plays. I'm going back because I asked you about your chickens, didn't I? So I'm going to go through the chat and see who's there and who'd made a chicken. I'm going to press the ad button on YouTube now. You may get an ad, you may not. Let's go back through. So, here we are. Fizz, she made a few. These chickens. Oh, Fizz has just said she's got an ad. Jill, she made a chicken margarita. Of course, I made one. Yay! Puppers, I've made many, as this is my local yarn shop. Lucky. Jimbo, I made 2. Sue says, guilty as charged. Several chickens hatched by me. Well, you started us off in the Easter, didn't you? I made 3 for the shop. They were cool. Thank you, Dinky. Beatrice, I made 2, but was too late to send one. Kevin and Ray introduced me to the chickens. Yes, that was earlier on in the year too. They are huge. Big following on YouTube. Well, I think on Facebook, but YouTube. If you like a type of show where you just like listening to people chat, Kevin and Ray are fabulous and are prolific knitters. They are knitting all the time, and of course dyeing and weaving and all sorts. If you like listening to book accounts, book reviews as well, they read books and everything. They're fab every 2 weeks on a Sunday afternoon. They're pre-recorded though. They do lives every now and again, but if you just like something in the background, like a radio where you feel like you're with your mate in the pub, then that is for them. Look, and Margarita says as well, there you go, I saw it at Needles at the Ready for the first time. As I say, they've got, how many viewers have they got, Fizz? I want to say 20k on YouTube, I think. No, don't do another job. There's a job that she wasn't prepared for. I think they've got about 20,000 subscribers, so their reach is huge. So they were a big part to play with how the emotional support chickens spread across the world. Dinky Crafts, Jennifer. I know someone on YouTube that's made the Swift dress in a few colours. Oh, have you? Oh, great. Patricia, hello Patricia, nice to welcome you to the show. Always nice to see new YouTube profiles. Let's just move that up so we can fit that in. I made an emotional support chicken for a silent auction. Have not crossed heated in a while, but I'm considering a book blanket with granny squares and colours to match each. I like that. I have not. Thanks, Fizz. I've got my universal translator in my ear. I haven't crocheted in a while. Brilliant. You're good at Fizz. That's an incredible talent of working out autocorrect. Oh yes, you then say it down later on. Right, I'm now scrolling through to catch up. Hey, Kiwi James. Always better late than never. Great to see you. And Lou too. Lou, fabulous Lou, crocheted one of the bottles. Where are they? I haven't got yours here, Lou, but Lou did one of these. And her very clever other half, DT, made that fabulous structure that we all went in. So it was great to see you. Oh, you just purchased the Franny Granny poncho. Oh no, you purchased it before the 30% off. Oh, so sorry, Lou. That's a oh, there we go. Right, let's go through. I'm just catching up with the chat now. We're back. Sue says, my first crochet garment was one of Hannah's. Oh, have you done the poncho then? Which one did you do, Sue? Hey, Susan. Great to have you here still. Oh, and sorry too. Hello. She is lovely, isn't she? It was wonderful. Really nice of Hannah to give up her time. Hey, Judith. It's great to have you here. Oh, now look at your profile. It's a chicken. Who doesn't love a couple of chickens in the house? Exactly. Do so, Karen. Check it out later. You might see something there. Jenny. Hey, Jenny. All right. See you Friday in a couple of weeks. I gave the lovely ladies I care for at work 2 of those support chickens for Christmas. They loved them. They both hug them as they go off to sleep. Oh, see, that's what it's all about. Sue says, just went to buy the HanJan Crochet Franny Granny adult sweater and it came up as 50% off without any coupon code. Lord. Well, get on there then. If you just access 50% off, no idea what's going on there. That's great. If you put the 30% code in, that means you'd get 70% off. Oh, have fun. Trying it out. Anyway, back to the charts. Okay, everyone. You've all topped up your drinks. I bet you're all fed up with food. I've eaten far too much. Back at the gym tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock here in the UK. That's me done. And then decorations will all be going as it's a fresh new week. Bang them away. Yeah. How much longer will you keep your decorations up for, Fizz? Oh, she might take them down today too. Anyone else take them down? Oh, Fizz says she's put the coupon code in. You do get 70% off? Fizz has just said. Right, well, you choose. Oh, okay. It's generous, whatever it is, from the designer. And I know some of you actually don't really even care about the coupon codes because you like supporting the designer and you'll pay the full price. You're all brilliant like that. Right, back to the show. We are looking at... Oh, it swaps it over. Oh, okay. So it's 50 or 30. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Let's go back to the charts. After our little summer break, the summer of 2024, we are now going to look at the pattern with the most appearances. Okay, so not the designer, the actual pattern. And I know we always joke about the ranunculus. And the ranunculus, or what's the other one that we've been seeing a lot of in the knitting world? I can't remember now. Or was it always just the ranunculus that we joked about? Oh, the photography shawl, that's it. And in the crochet world, well, there may be something brewing and something changing. Which pattern has appeared the most in 2024 crochet? Let's take a look. Yeah, there it is, the Jethro. It is stunning, and I know many people have been talking about it. And Kevin and Ray both wore theirs too, and were talking about it. Yes, refreshing to see something different for sure in the crochet charts. I have found with crochet charts from doing this with Fizz all year that there are lots of newbies all the time. The crochet charts is quite different. Yes, you've got Beba Blanket and Tina, but it varies a lot over a lot of pattern designers, whereas perhaps the knitting one, we see same names appearing with different patterns. So to see this come in and just go whoop up there, and we thought the crochet version of the emotional support chicken might do it, but no, not at all. Jethro just whooped them all with that. 15 repeats, 15 times out of 52 that occurred over the year. Fascinating. So the knitting one, the knitting with the most pattern appearances is, let's take a look. Oh, we were willing the chicken on. Me and Fizz, we were shouting, chicken, go chicken, go chicken, go chicken. We so wanted it to be number one. 15 repeats, second place for the emotional support chicken. And top, yeah, the ranunculus. It is phenomenal how often it's looked at. And we were looking at the designer and trying to work out how it feels for the designer, because the designer has released, in fact, she's released a pattern early this month, hasn't she? But I've never seen any of her patterns in the 52 weeks other than the ranunculus in the charts. Now, granted, I am only looking on a Sunday. Well, saying that, I am in the shop and I do go onto Ravelry most days when customers are looking something, and I'll just often have a quick look on, because it's stuck on hot right now. But I don't think I've seen any of patterns at all. So it's the eyes. It's a lot of people looking at the ranunculus all the time. Where does that come from? It's fascinating. Where does that chatter come from? New people coming into the knitting world. But where do they get the ranunculus from? Is it a blog, a famous blog? Are people talking about it all the time? So local yarn shops, are people saying, oh, go to the ranunculus as your first knit? Is that what they're doing? I find it fascinating. But yes, the chicken, second place there, 15 times it was in the charts over 2024. So it's great. Let's have a look at the chat and see what people are saying there. Kiwi James, every time I hear Jethro, I have flashbacks. Oh, the time there, the telly, I remember those sort of programs. Oh dear, brilliant. Yes, so it's fascinating when you look at that chart wise. Right, let's go to then the one with the most number ones. I'm just checking my script. Which pattern, knitting designer or crochet designer, has had the most number ones? Now, we've already kind of sort of foreshadowed that with our chat about how certain designers will maybe make their pattern for free or will use a discount code. So it could skew the eyes right now because people hear, oh, they've got a discount code. So, actually, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Fizz, just take a look at Hot right now and knitting and crochet and see if people have been looking and it's maybe pushed Hannah into the charts at all. That would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Not Not that I've got many viewers. I mean, if I was getting 20,000 views on a live and they're all going to Ravelry, that might have a big impact. But maybe 20, 30 of us. No, it's still the same. Yeah, the crochet one doesn't change that much, actually, does it? Sue says, think with the ranunculus, it's that you can use so many different weights of yarn. And do you think it's yarn shops that are saying it, Sue? Do you think it's just all the yarn shops around the world that maybe the yarn shop owner has made a ranunculus and it's their go-to? We do. Our patterns change quite regularly, though. We did the novice sweater, didn't we? And then we'll talk about a different sweater. We'll do the Tulsa tee. Actually, that's a good point. Fizz, look at your spreadsheet and just tell me how many times has Rebecca Clow appeared? Because we haven't seen her name. How many stats has she got? 11 last year and 7 this year. See, that's what I love. You can put any designer in, well, pretty much anyone, and Fizz will give you the results, the stats for last year and this year. And Petite Knit, did we say about Petite Knit? How many did they have last year and this year? 15 last year and 8 this year. Again, I suppose it all depends on the pattern and what's being released. I still find it fascinating with Beba Blanket. Oh, all right, let's talk about that in a little while. Might have just given that away. Okay, Crochet Designer with the most... I've got my script right? Yes, with the most number ones. Number ones. I've been saying number ones so often, I'm now confused with ones and the number. It is astonishing, Beba Blanket. 10 number ones. And in the chart, how many last year, Fizz, and how many this year appearances? $37 appearances out of 52 in the charts. 34 appearances this year. Yep, 37 last year, 34 this year. Yep. And 10 of... Go on. Oh. And only 4 patterns were repeated. So that's a prolific designer. And 10 of them this year were number ones. In fact, I think she's there this week as well. It is phenomenal. Lovely to see Kim Guzman up there. I did reach out to Kim because we talked to Beba Blanket last year and to have a chat with her, but technology got in the way there. Which was kind of then made me think of research other things to do. And so in a way that was quite nice in a way because then we got to meet Hannah, which I'm really thrilled about. Okay, so the knitting pattern, the designer with the most number ones. Someone did say Stephen West earlier, didn't they? Let's take a look. Oh yeah, let's take a look then. This is the last one, and then we've got our fun. Oh, you're gonna love our fun little chart of the weird and wonderful. That's still to come. Let's take a look at the knitting designer with the most appearances. No, the most number ones. Get it right. there we go. Joint. Christina, was that? Yeah, Christina and I'm looking at my script now. Christina and Stephen West. I thought that there would have been more. Fizz was saying, yeah, I thought with the Go-Go Dynamo, because it was that intense week, we thought that would have been at least 4, but it kind of tailed off towards the end. Yeah, fascinating. I do love it. Do absolutely love it. Oh, there we go. And I was saying about Sue, we were chatting about perhaps how the ranunculus is that sort of pattern all over, how many views it gets. Not sure, but there are really good videos. I use Sun Dragon tips and tricks, which was excellent. Oh, okay. Oh, hey, Jimmy. All right. Good to see you. Have you here? Super interesting about the free patterns hitting the charts. I'm definitely going to... and they keep doing it, Jimmy. Though they've got a certain way. I know Christina did try to talk to us about it with how she hits the discount codes and how many days she uses it to get the free pattern out and then get you into the charts, and then people are seeing you. I suppose you've just got to offset it all, isn't it? Plenty of things to think about. Beba Blanket says Sue is another one with excellent videos, which she does herself. It's phenomenal. She does indeed. And funny enough, I twigged as I was chatting with Fizz whilst the pre-record interview was going on. Ruta is Lithuanian. Christina last year is Lithuanian. And who else did I say was Lithuanian, Fizz? I can't remember now. It's completely escaped me. There were 3 people. She didn't have enough coffee. And I said another person, and Fizz was because it's cold there. So that's why they're prolifically knitting and crocheting. But just highly talented people. It's wonderful. Kiwi James, no surprise there for Beba Blanket. Beatrice, Me Too Sue, was supposed to cast on Christmas Day. Oh, but what, by Little Intimate by the cast on? For which one, Beatrice? You doing the ranunculus? Or did I miss that chat there? Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. There we go. So we've come to the end of the show. Hope you've enjoyed it. I can't believe we've done 2 shows. We did our wool patch show last week, and then after Christmas we got our heads down, me and Fizz, and we started ploughing through all the stats and putting together this show, which has been actually really fun to do. And when we were looking through the stats, Fizz has now actually put some of 2023 and 2024 side by side. And didn't you say with the ranunculus, Fizz, it's almost it's almost week by week. The ranunculus is there every week, all through. It's fascinating, isn't it? But we've got lots of data, and we decided we'll keep doing the weekly shows because we've fine-tuned it now. It actually doesn't take too long to produce at all. It probably takes Fizz a little bit longer with producing those links, which we then put into the description of our weekly videos. But it just keeps us on trend. And actually, from a business point of view, it keeps me on trend with what people are looking at, what people are talking about. So for 2025, the charts will continue. If it's something that you're interested in, every Sunday night it will be published to the YouTube our channel, and then you can watch it Sunday night, late Sunday night, or Monday, Tuesday, whatever. They are about a minute. They're already done. We will be releasing week 1 tomorrow on our brand new week. And you can keep up to date. It's just a nice thing. And then we'll do the same thing in 2025. God, you know what, Fizz? We're going to blink, and we'll be planning the show for 2025. Go on. Fizz is saying she is just fascinated to see how the ranunculus does for 2025 for the stats. Do you know what, as well? I think I'm going to knit one. If you didn't see, some of you came in late. I have started my Christmas cast on, and I've done quite a few of these. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. The only problem is it's a one-size pattern. So he's written the pattern up. I want to say Edwin, I think his name is. I can't remember off the top of my head. And he sells the pattern, but it's a bit like what Colin does for me when he writes the pattern up. It's one size only, and technically it is Edwin. Thanks, Fizz. It's 2 of these, and then a side one. And the side one might go round. It might. So it's 2 at the front, 2 at the back, and 2 what he calls side ones. I think I'm going to do an extra one just because I think I've had too many mince pies over Christmas. I think I'll go for 3. So I think I'll have a middle. I could, Viz says, perhaps I could do something at the side. I know it's I'll do it as pattern says. So what are they? They're about 20 centimeters. It looks great, doesn't it? And I could block it as well, yes, because I could, yeah, because I want it nice, yeah. So that's my pattern, but maybe we do the ranunculus. We'll see. These have just gone really. Right, let's finish off. Oh, hey, Margaret, good to have you here. Great, yeah, I love them. And Stollen, I've had so much Stollen. Oh, no, Margarita, Stollen, it's a German thing, yes? Do you like it? Are you sick of it? I love it. And I find it really difficult to find Stollen throughout the year. And it's like, I want to eat it throughout the year. It's lovely with a coffee. Can't wait to go to the gym tomorrow. Right, so as we said, to finish off, we've got a fun little, it's only 40 seconds. So you've got to put your knitting down, put everything down, put your crochet down to watch it, because we have collated, no, what do you do when you're curated in a museum? The patterns that made us go, oh, or the patterns that made us go, oh, or the patterns that made us go, oh, and we've got them into a 40-second. These, it will make you, we want to know your reaction. Whether you use the emoji, find the emoji, live people. If you're not commenting, I'm just going to imagine what your eyebrow is doing. I hope it doesn't give you nightmares. I'm not going to finish the show with it. I'm going to come back after because I want to see what the chat is like. Already I'm getting excited about Stollen. Oh, no, Margarita. I know, I think I'm going to have to learn to do it. So, right, so put everything down because you're going to see about 20 patterns that made us go, ooh, and yes, they were in the charts. These patterns, we're not kidding with you, they were in the charts. If you want the pattern, let us know and we'll send you the link, but we're not putting any links in. It's just for fun. But yes, these patterns came up over 2024. You ready for it? You ready? Because you'll blink and you'll miss it. Don't look, Ethel. Don't look. Oh dear. I'm sorry if some of them are going to give you nightmares. I know, absolutely. I'm loving these emojis. Come on, come on. Oh, eek, eek. I love that. That's brilliant. Margaret, you're having a good look on that one, isn't it? Sid, hey Sid. Yeah, it's definitely. Fran's got the eyebrow raised. Jimbo is laughing hysterically. Oh, you love the pixies. It is a case of that. Kiwi James, I have house guests watching and they have suggested this. Can you believe it? It's really, I want to do the blanket. The blanket is great. And I think there are several others on, because I checked, because I think there were 2 different designs that appeared over the year. Oh, look at that one. That's brilliant. That's a mixture of, oh my God. Oh dear. The eyes. Yeah, she's going to leave you. Yeah. Well, that's what I was like. It is just brilliant. Oh, and some of these are too clever. My machine isn't saying it. Bob, this is how your one shows on my screen. Face purple crying, face purple crying. I'm going to check on YouTube what that one is. Oh, it's that one. It's the purple one. That's clever. Oh, can it be true? Absolutely. Sue says, how far down the charts did you or Fizz have to look? They were in the top 10, Sue. Yeah, we haven't searched for them. Every time we do the charts every week, they've been there in the top 10. I should have done a chart actually to say what number it was, shouldn't I? Because I think I never thought about that. Because let me. No, I won't give you nightmares. Oh, go on. Let's just have one more quick look at it again. There we are. That's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Don't look. It's safe to look now. Absolutely, Margarita. It goes to show fibre arts is for everyone. Very much. Oh, well, what a brilliant little show. There we go. 2024 patterns all seen, dusted, the spreadsheets filled, and new ones created ready for 2025, and we start it all again. So you know every week those charts will be out. You don't have to watch them. Just if some people binge watch them at the end of a month. Someone was telling me in the shop, where they'll just watch all 4 and then sort of get up to speed. But it's lovely. It's lovely, and it keeps us sort of on trend, doesn't it? Right, before we finish, everyone, tell me in the chat what pattern you are working on now, because it might inspire someone, and then we'll finish off just going through that. It's just been lovely. So actually, I forgot, Fizz, we haven't sorted out when we're back in January. Let's just have a quick look at the calendar. Whilst people are telling us what they're working on and we're finishing off. January in the new year, I reckon we will be, I'm away in London on the 26th, so it might be the 12th or the 19th of January. Probably the 19th. We'll have a look. We'll see what producer Fizz can do on her diary. That's when the wool patch will be back with our show. And hopefully I will have finished my pattern, which I'm working on. Ooh, getting that twisted up. Sorry, wonderful Happy New Year to you too. Have some fab ones. If you like sewing, you must go on to Practical Stitches because Sorry does what we do and do lives with her sewing. So if you want to see more actual making sewing wise, check her channel out. Margaret is doing a granny square blanket for my brother. Lovely. Jimbo is doing, press the button, the frosted vineyard cap. Bertus is working through your whip. Oh yes, because some of you said that you don't do a Christmas cast on, you're doing all your whips. Knights Who Say Knit. Oh, cool. Sue is doing the cocoon sweater by Heidi Grinwald. Was Pickles. Practicing spinning. Jill, I'm making the primrose slip over by Along Alec, and I'm loving this because I know what people will be doing. They'll be, when they're watching this on catch up, they're going to be typing this in to go, ooh. Karen, wishing you all a happy and healthy 2025. Judith, have a happy one too. Oh, cold, wet Toronto. Oh, lovely to have you joining in though. Wonderful. Knitted Cats, Meow Blanket. I'm loving this. Bob, I love my cat. Socks, test knit. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Patricia, you're doing a Red One Santa hat from the Netflix film. Oh, your second one. Susan, knitting a mitre square baby blanket for a great new. Oh, wonderful. I'm going to be, that's my next one after this, will be the Franny Granny Child cardigan. Beatrice, the yarn and needles cast on in progress for the ranunculus. Happy New Year to you. Sid, I've just finished the trifle wrap with a yarn advent. Oh, lovely. And cast on the glow. It is stunning. When I saw it, it is beautiful. And I so enjoyed the Go-Go Dynamo. Maybe I might do that. I'm loving seeing what those stitch patterns are. Jenny's doing the boneyard shawl, Judith making the hippie shawl. Sally, oh, this is a Facebook one. It's worked on Facebook. Sally Ann Riley, lovely to have you. It's nice to know it worked on Facebook. That's wonderful. Puppa's got the Doodle Knit directory book. Oh, I've got some of those too. Yes, wonderful. Happy New Year. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope you had a lovely one. And yes, New Year, when those bongs go Tuesday night, I'll be in bed probably. Have a wonderful time, however you celebrate New Year. Looking forward to seeing you in the new year. Can I just say, on a personal note, thank you for coming back time and time again to watch us on a Sunday here in the UK, Sunday evening, and for many of you, at different points and parts of the day. Kiwi James is Monday morning already. Fizz, it's only just sort of noon, and it's lovely. Like Toronto, Marguerite in Germany, it's wonderful. Really love you coming back each time. I know it's a different type of show. It's not your usual YouTube knitting sort of podcast show. Some people like it, some people don't. It doesn't matter because we do the show because we love doing it. I hope you enjoyed today's show and the content made for you. We just love doing it. And it's nice celebrating yarn, celebrating crochet, celebrating knitting, celebrating creativity with you all. So I do hope you keep coming back. And I see so many W's there. So many of you have signed up and you do support, even though you're not near, you support by joining the channel with your $4.99 a month or your $8.99 a month. It is great. I've had a really fun evening. Fizz, thank you very much for all those stats, because that's a lot of stats. So let's give a little round of applause, please, to our producer Fizz, because the show couldn't have worked without all those stats. You should see the spreadsheets. Well, you saw some of them, didn't you, in the interviews? It is phenomenal, and I love it. And that's why we're doing it for another year, because she said, oh, you're very welcome, Fizz. You're very welcome. Okay, everyone, Happy New Year, and we'll see you mid-January with hopefully some more finished makes, the gallery, guest of the year, and all sorts. Very, very happy new year and a great 2025. Thanks all.